People who've been in a coma, what shocked you the most when you woke up? My 6-year-old son was hysterical, screaming that if I didn't play catch right then, he'd never make the Little League team. I was stressed, packing for a flight, but the guilt trip worked and I headed outside into a literal thunderstorm. It was muddy and dangerous, but I just wanted him to stop crying, so I grabbed my old leather glove. He fired a wild pitch, and as I lunged for it, my cleats lost traction in the slick grass. I fell and slammed my temple against a jagged rock, and the last thing I heard was his high-pitched scream. I didn't wake up until I was in the ICU later that day with a brutal pressure in my neck and skull. I tried to reach for the stitches I assumed were there, but strangely, I didn't feel anything on my skin. I was really confused, but barely managed to sit up and noticed I couldn't move my arm. I looked up and saw a doctor walk in the room, and she looked really surprised. 5 more staff came in and all started asking me questions. I was really worried because I still couldn't move my fingers no matter how hard I tried. I didn't know what was going on until an hour later when my wife finally got there. I was so happy to see her and didn't think anything about her in tears. I asked who the man she was with was because he was also crying, and when he walked closer, I made the most shocking realization of my life. This 16-year-old was my son, and they broke the news. I was in a coma for almost 10 years. I realized I had missed his entire childhood. I was paralyzed. My wife had remarried. But what hurt the most was when I went home to our yard and I looked down at the grass. I broke down because that baseball was still sitting in the dirt where it landed, and my son hadn't picked up a glove since the day I fell.